My name is Margaret Rudolph, and I'm with Annika Pinsner, and we're both PhD students at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I study co-production knowledge, and Annika studies snow. And we are both part of GIGSA, the Geophysical Institute Graduate Student Association. And after the George Floyd murder, they had an initiative around justice, equity, and inclusion where we decided to start Tech Talks, in particular in response to the letter criticizing navigating the Arctic from Western Alaska Indigenous leaders. And this is also why I wanted to present at this meeting today. We had 3 broad goals for our project, which are a series, which is increase respect and understanding for Indigenous people, their culture and knowledge, understand the terminology, best practices, and protocols, as well as know where to find appropriate resources.
There were some lessons we learned in creating this lecture series. And first and foremost, I think it helped us to create learning goals early on in the process so that we then could focus the lecture series on those learning goals and choose respective speakers. We tried to be very progressive in choosing our topics, and that also led to choosing speakers that are not only representative of local examples, but are really pushing their fields forward. So we reached out to speakers that weren't at UAF only. We try to get our keynote speakers and secure funding early. So that's something to really be aware of when you start creating a lecture series. And we try to really balance people or speakers that are people of color to not overburden them. We did include many students in our talks because they are the future leaders in research. And we did ask our speakers if we could record them and make that publicly available to reach a broader audience. We also tried to provide links and resources for each lecture series, which are also available on the website. And we did try to create a space and dialogue within each lecture series. You can find our speakers and the topics on the right if you're interested. You can find them on YouTube, most of them. And we would like to acknowledge that UAF is on the unceded lands of the Lower Tanana Dene, and we would like to thank GIGSA for allowing us to host this lecture series, and we would especially like to thank our speakers for making this lecture series possible. So with that, thanks a lot for listening and have a good meeting.